All right, y'all. On the move again, but I get to do a little live because I got some time. So yeah, let's get back into it. So yeah, everything in 115 getting a little bit of a shakeup. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna have about what 30 minutes or something, maybe like 20 minutes. So yeah, just got done looking at. Well, I looked at it again because I just wanted to listen to Jan Jana's recent interview here again on the MMA Hour, talking about her victory over Jessica Andrade and what it means. And yeah, we know what it means, right? Mm. I had to watch that fight again, man. I was just like, wow, Andrade, she gonna fall off hard, man. Jessica Andrade is gonna fall off. Well, I won't say she's completely fell off yet, but she gonna fall off hard right now if she doesn't improve and make the necessary changes to her style. She's gonna she's gonna fall out of the top 15 or maybe the top 10. Maybe like the top 10, because eventually, these girls that are getting focused and they on one. Shoot, Darby said, YouTube finally notified me. Yeah, that's the thing. Notifications don't really go out anymore. I don't know why. Like, so I just be jumping on. I don't even pay attention. Like, past week or so, I don't really get any notifications. Like, I don't think notifications really go out like that. So YouTube is weird like that, man. Yeah, I mean, I just got on anyways, but I just been on for like 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. But I don't know. I ain't gonna be on here too long, but yeah, what did you think about the fight, Darby? I mean, Andrade, to me, she's falling, man. Like, she's on that edge, and people are figuring this thing out. It's not gonna last forever. I don't know why she thought that power was gonna get notified. Okay, you got notified. That power wasn't gonna last forever. Yeah. Well, let's say she still has the power, but that style's not gonna last forever, right? So, but yeah, Yan Jana has definitely made some nice improvements. Her style, I think it was definitely one I was always on the lookout for, but she just has that she just always had that lack of a ground game. Her takedown defense wasn't that good, but she's been working on it. So I think with each fight she's getting better. And whenever we were talking about Jessica the other day, I mean, I can't remember. Somebody brought up a good point because we discussed it, and I said, yeah, I went back and watched Andrade's last few fights. Like, think about it. Like, Jessica's never really grappled. She's never really grappled too much in her last few fights, right? So that's kind of what cost her victories. And when she tried to step it up to grapple, like her skills just weren't on that level. 'Cause I know people ask me how was she on her back, and I was like, I don't know. Like, at this point of her career, I don't know like how effective she can be on her back. And we seen her how she's looked when she's been put on her back, and how she looks when she's been taken down herself. It kind of frustrates her. So looking at Andrade's past performances, yeah, she's never really been into a grappling match. Like, her main thing in this fight was to try to chase Yan Xiaonan down and try to look for a knockout, trying to strike with her. When in all reality, she should have been trying to take her down and keep the fight in close quarters. And to get there, she didn't really have a good game plan of really truly stalking. She was chasing again. Like, every time she gets tagged, she just likes to go after. So, I don't know. I just wanted to say that about Andrade because I was watching some of the looking at the pictures again of these punches being connected on her jaw, and I'm just like, man, this girl's gonna get worn down. That chin is gonna be worn out, and eventually, yeah, she might fall out of the top 10. Andrade will, but Yan Jana, man, hey, she learned a lot from that Carla fight. I think that woke something up in her, to make the right improvements in her game. I think Jan is building up confidence. And if you think about it, she would have had some nice victories. Like, she probably would have already gotten the title shot by now if they would have given her that win over Marina that time, right? That was a close fight. Like, let's say if they didn't give Marina that split decision, they gave it to Jan, and then she would have had a victory over Mackenzie Dern and over Jessica Andrade. That would have been 3 victories right there, and nobody could have argued it at that point, right? But right now, with what's going down, it looks like she might be sneaking in. But I was listening to the translator, when he translated what Xiaonan was saying and what it looks like. Xiaonan said that, she met Dana White in the locker room, and he said he wants to try to do the Zhang Weili title fight, in China. And like they said, that's a good idea. But like the translator said, it'd probably be like at the end of the year. They want to do it by the end of the year. And you go back to my logic, what I said the other day in the live stream, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think that would be fair to do it by the end of the year. Give Jan a chance to prepare, and give the UFC a chance to secure a solid place, a solid venue to show it in, to put this show on in China, and also give somebody else a chance to get a fight. Amanda Lemos. I know that's a big risk, but hey, man, I'm like, I want to see that fight first, man. Amanda Lemos, man, she's still there, man. Like, if you look at some comments, even on like IG and Facebook, whenever this fight came, this fight talk came up, everybody was saying, "What about Lemos, man? They say Lemos is getting screwed," and I'm with them, man. Like, I think Amanda Lemos, she earned the number 3 spot. She got 2 good victories. She stopped Marina. She stopped Michelle Waterson. Those are good fights. I think she did enough, and she's a different look. She's a different look for Zhang Weili. So in the meantime, we can't make the chant wait that long. Like, when we start talking about the end of the year, then yeah, I'll say something then. But like, when we just talking a couple months, I ain't gonna be, just complaining. But when we start talking about the next big fight, or the next fight for Yan Xiaonan and Zhang Weili is in December, yeah, then I got a problem. But I think the UFC is trying to figure out what they want to do right now, because there's people talking about they want Amanda Lemos, and I'm one of them. I want to see Amanda Lemos up in there. So yeah, I don't know, man. Darby said poor Lemos is going to get passed over. It's possible, but I don't think they should do that, man, because then by the time Weili comes back as well, it'll been like what? It'll been like over a year since Weili fought. And yeah, like I said, then that's an issue. So the way the turnaround time in the calendar is right now, she's got plenty of time. She got plenty of time to get 2 title defenses in. Same as like when Valentina had fought in like I think it was 2021. Like in April, she had fought Jessica Andrade. Then like 5 months later, she came back and fought Lauren Murphy in like September. So she had a good turnaround time to get in 2 fights. She was active. So if they set this thing up the same way, put this summer fight on with Amanda Lemos in Brazil or something, they can do the China fight in like November or December, something like that. You know what I mean? That makes sense. But yeah, from the way Yan Xiaonan is talking, she's not in any rush either. She's not. Darby said, "Where's Weili? Is she injured?" No, she's not injured. She's doing basic training right now. She's training. She's not injured. Yeah, she ain't injured. She's not injured. She's training. She's posting every day, just about on IG. She's out there training. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, she's doing some basic training and stuff like that. Getting her body back into shape. I haven't seen any sparring or anything like that posted yet, so I don't know what's going down. What the deal is right now. But with her staying in shape, that means the training will probably start pretty soon when they announce an opponent for her. There was another interview too a guy was doing with Dana White, and he didn't really ask like good questions, and he didn't really like nail, put the nail on the head on the opponent that everybody wants to see, like Amanda Lemos. Like, he didn't throw the name out there. We know she lost to Andrade, but he didn't really put that name out there like that. You know what I mean? So it's like it made Dana feel like, okay, there's nobody for her to fight. And that's crazy for Dana White to think that way, because there's a lot of people for her to fight. There's a lot of good names in this division. Like, even to a lesser extent, like, there's still, like, say if Rose wasn't injured, there's still Rose. Like, that's a fighter that Whaley's never beat before, right? She's lost to her twice. So there's always a good name for her to fight at strawweight. It was just kind of crazy because the way the guy did the interview, he just made it seem like there's really nobody for her to face right now. And Dana White was like, "Oh, there you go. See, there's nobody for her to fight." So I'm like, "Huh?" Like, they just totally jumped around Amanda Lemos's name when they put her in there with Marina, and she earned that top 5 spot. So that was just the crazy part of it. That was just kind of weird. Um, hang on. Oh, okay. I see some comments now. I just pulled in. Gabrielle said Whaley should get a fight booked for the summer. She should. She should. She got plenty of time to fight this summer. It kind of sucks she's not fighting in June though, because I enjoy watching those type of championship fights in the summertime, man. Gary said he'd rather have Jan versus Lemos. I don't really. I mean, it would probably be a good fight, but I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary. Gary said Lemos couldn't beat Hill super convincingly. What makes you so sure she beats Jan? Who said she beats Jan? Hold on. Who in the comment section said she beats Jan? I don't even want to see that fight right now. Nobody. I don't even think they need to fight. They just need to line them up. Sink said Lemos is the best striker in that division, in my opinion. I think her power and timing is that factor that will allow her to beat anyone in that division on their feet. Let me see. The best striker in that division. Let me think. The best striker in that division. The best striker in that division. Is Lemos the best striker in that division? I'd say it's between her and Rose, right? Because Rose got some victories off of her striking over big names, right? So, over Joanna, if she didn't get slammed, she probably would have kept piecing Andrade up. She beat Andrade second fight. She stopped Whaley with her striking. So I would say Lemos is probably second, but I would still say Rose is a better striker. Is the proven better striker in that division, right? I know Lemos is powerful and she's knocked some girls out, but again, you got to look at Rose's resume. So I would still say Rose is probably the more proven striker in that division. I mean, she gave us a bad fight against Carla, yeah, but I'll still say that I'll say right now Rose is probably the better striker, is the best striker in the division. Yeah. Lemos Lemos couldn't even get nothing going against Rose, though. That's the thing, against Andrade. You know what I mean? Like, at least before Rose got slammed, I mean, she was piecing Andrade up. You know, she was piecing her up in the first and in the second fight. She knocked out Joanna. She knocked out Wei Lee. And she pieced up Joanna in the second fight. I mean, look at the precision of her punches. I mean, look at the damage she done to Joanna's face in that fight, right? And look how she made Wei Lee respect her with her striking. You know what I mean? In the second fight. So yeah, I would say Rose is a better striker. Gary said Lemos' striking against Waterson was lackluster. I think. Look, I like Lemos a lot, and I think she deserves this title shot, and I think she's earned it. But we were just talking about matchups between fighters. I still think Lemos needs to pace it out a little bit. Like, Lemos still doesn't pace it out enough. Like, she doesn't. She swings for the fences too much at times. You know what I mean? Like, she gets a little too power happy, and she got to slow it down. That's the one thing that keeps her from being like the best striker in the division. She swings wild sometimes. You know, she'll got some good skills, but sometimes, like Andrade, she can get pulled into swinging for the fences and believing too much into her power. You know. Gabrielle said Jan mentioned she could fight on the UFC 290 International Fight Week. Oh yeah. Yeah, really. I think at this point, man, like, it is interesting. It is an interesting thing to do the whole China versus China thing. And I know it is a gamble with the Lemos fight, but I think, you know, that's just something they gotta try, man. They just have to try, because when you have a fighter like Amanda Lemos who's earned their shot, I think they still deserve to get it. They do deserve it. Because, I mean, who else does Lemos fight in the meantime? You know, to hold her spot down. Like, Rose is nowhere around. You know, Carla's out on maternity leave, and I really don't think it'd be fair to make her fight down again. That'd be dirty if they did something like Amanda Lemos versus Tatiana Suarez. That would be wild. Gabby said, I do believe Lemos and Yan provide problems to Wei Lee, but Wei Lee will likely mix it up. Yeah, I kind of feel that way too with Gabby with the Lemos fight. Like, I think the Lemos fight, Lemos has a really, really good chance, but if Wei Lee is tighter on her defense and she can get the fight to the ground, it can be her fight. You know, it could be her victory. For sure. You know, she could get that victory and then move on to Yan. Yan, she's a little bit lighter on her feet. You know, she's more about precision, getting in and out, which I think could be effective against Wei Lee. You know, sometimes Lemos, if she gets a little stationary and flat-footed, she can be pushed to the cage too. So, you know, that might be a style clash too for Lemos. You know, she deals with somebody who's been working on their wrestling and their grappling like Wei Lee has. She's gonna be looking to take the fight to the ground and not try to strike with her. Yeah, because Yan's a little bit more nimble. You know, she can bounce around on her feet. Darby said he was at BKFC 41. Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay, Rose was there. Okay. I thought the Beck and Christine, what's her name, Farie fight was stopped too soon. You were there in person. What do you think, Darby? I think Beck still has some fight in her, man. I don't think they should have stopped it so soon. From what I could see, from my position, like, they stopped the bleeding of the cut on Beck Rollins' eye. So I thought that it would have been a good idea to let the fight keep going, you know, because it was turning into a good scrap. You know, Christine Farie and Beck, they be throwing down. Gabby said, "Who would win? Who would struggle? Who would Whaley struggle to take down? Lamos or Yon? Who has better takedown defense, Yon or Lamos?" Hmm. I think she would struggle to take down. Let me see. Like if she got her hands on him, I think she was like if she actually locked up and clinched up with the fighters physically, I think she would struggle with Lamos a little bit. I think Lamos can put her back to the cage pretty good, and I think she does have some pretty good balance, and I think she's been working on that a lot lately. I think with the power in her legs, she's able to maneuver, and she can keep her stance long enough if it's like in the center to get to the cage and kind of keep her back to the cage. She kind of showed that with the Andrade fight. Now who can stay away from them? Now who can stay away from the takedowns? Like I'm looking at it in two different ways. Like I think Xiaonan physically, if she gets caught, she gets taken down. Like if she physically gets her hands on Xiaonan, she gets taken down. But like having to catch him, I think that's going to be harder trying to catch Xiaonan because she's a little bit lighter on her feet and she's going to be turning angles and she's going to be trying to keep a jab in Weili's face. But eventually, like physically, if she gets a hold of her, I think she's strong enough to take her down. Whereas Lemos, she can fight it in the clinch a little bit longer. But Lemos being a little bit more flat-footed, that'll leave her open to being caught. You know what I mean? Like there's two ways to look at it. Like if you're flat-footed, expect to get clinched up and body locked. All right. So your takedown defense has to be on point. So Lemos has to work on that, which I think she has because her legs are so big. She's been working on that foundation, right? But it's gonna be hard to catch Yon because she's gonna be moving on her feet. But when you catch her, you can take her down if that makes sense. You can take her down when you catch her because that's her main strength of getting away from takedown is moving, because as soon as you lock her up like Carla did, boom, she goes to the ground. Claudia Gadelha, boom, she goes to the ground. Those type of fighters, they'll take her down. I still think Weili can take her down as soon as she gets her hands on her. Who's likely to take down Weili? Oh, I think Amanda Lemos would take down Weili before Yon would. Yeah, honestly, I think. Like, let's say if Weili throws one of them body kicks, Lemos catches that, and she takes Weili down. I think Yon's going to spend more time moving around and trying to pick her off. Of course, this is MMA. You never know. Yeah, Yon is big, man. Yon look big, man. Like, she's pretty, she's been putting on more muscle, too. She's pretty big. Gary said, didn't Beck say F off regarding the stoppage? I think so. I thought I thought the fight could have gone on. Yeah, man, but that would be a good idea, man. Like, just to go ahead and give Amanda Lemos a shot, because it seems like a lot of people, of course, not most of y'all in the chat, most of y'all in the channel, y'all are gonna say Amanda Lemos because y'all the hardcore fans too. But of course, like if I have any like people from China comment, they'll say Yan Xiaonan because they'll want to see that. They'll think she's done enough, and you can't really argue that. I mean, when it comes down to the star power for their country and the way Yan Xiaonan's done it, there's a good argument here, right? Like I was telling Australia earlier in a comment, I'm not talking about the fight. Whenever I say Yan Xiaonan defeated somebody that defeated Amanda Lemos, I'm not talking about the particular fight, because that was such a crazy submission. I'm not talking about that. What I'm describing is the fact that her argument is strong because she beat the girl that she lost to, right? So business wise, that looks more impressive to even the China market. They're going to say, oh, I don't want to see Lemos fight because she couldn't even beat Andrade. Our girl beat Andrade. You know what I mean? So that looks more attractive to them. Whether or not she could do it again, that ain't the point. The point is, this is where it's left off. And like we always say, even in combat sports, it's always, what have you done for me lately, right? And Jan, as of lately, beat the girl that beat Lemos. So there's that argument, too, that you have to look at. And the boss said, I don't understand why Andrade didn't try to take Jan down. Yeah, I was just talking about that. She ain't grappled in a while. And it was, it's crazy because, yeah, we were talking about that before the fight, remember? We were talking about that before this fight. We said she doesn't grapple anymore. She doesn't really fight on the ground. And it's been costing her. You know, she thinks that she can just knock all these girls out now. And, you know, it just don't work like that. She's cheating herself out of victories. You know, she's cheating herself out of opportunities here. Lemos beat someone, Marina, who beat Jan, though. Yeah, but in that one, you can argue Jan won that fight, too. You see, the thing is, Jan beat her more convincing than Marina beat her, right? Like, it's a weird triangle or square, however you want to look at it, right? Yeah, Lemos did beat somebody that beat Jan, but in that fight, you can argue that Jan won that fight, too, right? Like, it's a victory, yeah, a split decision victory, but you know, a first round knockout looks so much more tantalizing and attractive, you know, to the hardcore fan, no, not hardcore fan, but casual fans as well. Lemos would probably shoot on Jan, I'm thinking. Yeah, I think, yeah, like if the striking was getting a little too much, like the movement gets too much, you'll probably shoot on her. Kel said UFC only cares about money. They don't care about their fighters or who deserves who. They're gonna make that fight, which makes money, which is Weili Yan. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I can see it happening. I can definitely see it happening. I just want Weili to fight 2 times this year. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down to that now. Like, I just want to see her fight 2 times this year. Does Yan versus Weili go the distance, or does Lemos versus Weili? I think Yan Weili goes the distance before Lemos and Weili does, because I keep thinking that Weili can submit Lemos, and Lemos, she can knock out Weili. So unless they both cancel each other out, show each other a lot of respect, and there's a lot of hold in these type of fights. I don't know. It could turn into Carla versus Rose for all I know. But I think that Yan Weili goes the distance first, because I think Yan can escape a lot of those rushes, you know. Yeah, I think Yan has the ability to go longer in that fight. I think so. And it just comes down to movement, I believe, you know, just game plan on getting out of the way. Yeah, she could submit her. She could submit her too. Yeah. There's that opportunity as well. Yeah. Yeah, because Lemos got some submissions too. Point is, I don't see it going the distance. I don't see that fight going the distance. I see Yan going the distance. Marina with back-to-back losses. Yeah, man. Man, out of the points. Out of the picture right now, man. Mm. Andrade didn't try and mess with Lemos on the feet, though. She knew what was up. Oh, yeah. She knew what was up in that fight. I mean, you see that reaction, right? You see that reaction when Lemos hit her with them leg kicks. It looked like she was getting shocked. But, like, you could see, like, Andrade's whole body turned, and she was, like, getting shocked. Like, every Lemos calf kick that was hitting Andrade would, like, turn her, man. You make her turn her body, and she get all shocked. That was funny. That's why that next punch that she threw, Lamos said, Andrade said, I'm closing the distance on her. And then she locked her up, man. I just like the reaction. Like, soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, Lamos got this, man. I was like, Lamos going to knock Andrade out. You know, she just kept kicking her in the, she kept kicking her in the calf a couple of times and she kept turning. But then, man, she threw that right hand that she didn't really set up with a jab. And boom, Andrade catches her, man. So, I don't know. You don't think Lemos has more power than Yan? Who said that? This is that addressed to me? Who said Lemos doesn't have more power than Andrade? I mean than Yan. You don't think Lemos has more power than Yan? I think we all I think everybody Lemos is a harder puncher, right? I never said that she don't have no power. Unless one of y'all said that. I don't know. I wasn't reading everything here. The boss, I think Lemos would have the advantage over Lemos on the ground unless Lemos catches her in a guillotine. Yeah, like Lemos has slick jujitsu. Her jujitsu is good, but I think quicker, the quickness, athleticism, and the youth on Wei Lee's side. I think that all kind of makes her a little bit more favorable to avoid submissions right away because I think she'll be strong, kind of like Tyler Santos when she's on the ground. You know, she's a mixture of strength, grappling, and wrestling, so she's able to neutralize certain submission attempts. Um, I think Lemos is good at finding those opportunities, but it's all in like what her gas tank is like on the ground because you know that wrestling against Wei Lee, that's high pace. You know, you got to be high pace. You got to have a gas tank. He said, I thought you meant Yon could last longer than Wei Lee. No, I said that a fight between Yon and Wei Lee goes the distance. Wei Lee and Lemos likely ends in a finish. You know, nothing to do with power. But even though we know Lemos has power, the point, yeah, it's just yeah. Yon lasts longer because the question was who, which fight goes the distance? Yon and Wei Lee goes the distance. Lemos versus Wei Lee probably ends inside of 5 because Lemos has more power, right? And Wei Lee is strong, and she could probably submit Lemos, right? I think Wei Lee has the advantage over Lemos on the ground. Yeah, yeah, because like I was saying, just overall cardio and how she can mix it up. Robot Chicken said the truth is you're emotionally invested. I care less if she fights Lemos or Yon. Let's tell the truth. Oh, he must be talking to you, Brian. Yes, yeah, Lemos Wei Lee's a car crash. It is, man. Lemos and Wei Lee's a car crash, bro. I I wonder how she reacts to like a right hand from Wei Lee, man. How does she react to that right hand from Wei Lee when it crashes, man? She be like, boom. Does she take it? Go straight to the ground? Uh, okay. Gabby said, "Who can catch Wei Lee on the feet? Where do you rate Wei Lee's knockout power at?" Okay. Who can catch Wei Lee on the feet? Let me think now. Who can catch her? I think now I'm gonna have to break this one down because Gabby, I think they both have the ability to catch her. Okay, Lamos has the ability to catch her, and so does Jan. But what's going to help? What'll help Lamos, of course, is her power and her boxing skill. The thing that's going to help Jan is similar. It's going to be the speed and the accuracy, right? And Jan will fight more behind the jab. So I think she can catch her if she uses her jab. If she uses her jab, she can catch Wei Li. Like if she keeps the jab in her face, she could catch her with one of them right hands. So I think they both have the ability to catch Wei Li on the feet. Because even Carla caught her a couple of times with some jabs. Like I think it was a jab. I think it was a couple of jabs whenever Wei Li did kind of rush in. Carla did put a jab in her face maybe like once or twice. So I think that it's going to be two types of setups, but they both have the ability to catch her on the feet. Whether I rate Wei Li's power, I think Wei Li's power. I think Wei Li's power is like maybe. I would say it's still maybe about the same as Andrade's, or maybe just a little under Andrade's. And I say that because, just because Andrade, she's more like mindless with it. She lets it go. Where I think Wei Li's more, she's more, she can be careful with it, and she's more calculated. I think when you hold back, when you're smarter with it, you kind of hold back because you're thinking of the consequences. But when you let go, like the Hulk, your power, like the green Hulk versus the gray Hulk, you kind of let it go. You know what I mean? So I think her power is, I would put her power under, still put it under Andrade's. I just think there's more technique, and she just don't let it go all the time like that. People ain't gonna understand what I mean on that, but yeah, it's that's just what I think. Yo, BJ said he driving and listening. What's going on, man? Oh man, I'm just shoot. You driving home? I'm driving in, BJ. I'm just getting in. Wei Li can catch anybody. Wei Li can catch some people. She can catch. She can catch some people. But when you're dealing with like higher level strikers, it's gonna be harder to catch. And the boss said, "Here's why Lemos should get the title shot over Jan. Lemos beat Marina when Marina was on a long win streak. Jan beat Andrade, who was coming off a loss. I wouldn't be mad if Jan gets it though." Right. I mean, I agree with that. But yeah. All in all, yeah, Bosh, I think we on the same page because I want Lemos to get the shot for sure. Like I do want that fight because I want Wei Li to fight 2 times this year. That's not asking much. As a fight fan, I want to see a champion fight 2 times this year. Like I said, you ain't gonna hear me complaining until it's 10 months from now and Wei Li still ain't fought. And Wei Li versus Jan is the fight that we waiting for. All right. That's how I see it. Like, that's when we're gonna start talking. But 6, 7 months, anything can still happen from here. Okay. BJ says Suarez finishes Zhang Wei Li. Man, BJ, you thought Montana was gonna beat Suarez, man. You thought Montana was gonna beat our girl, man. So if you think Montana gonna beat our girl, how you think Suarez? See, I believe Suarez gonna beat. I think Suarez can still beat Zhang Wei Li. Man, BJ, why you pick against our girl like that? How you pick Montana over Suarez? You think Suarez can beat? If you think Montana beat Suarez, you think Suarez ain't hitting, man. You don't think much of our girl, man. You don't think much of our girl. See, I know Suarez when she come back 100%. Nobody's standing up to her, not even Wei Li. Been wanting this girl to get the title since 2018 or 2017. Gabriella said, "You think Rose can catch Lemos or Jan? Rose seems powerful. Yeah, Rose has damage on her punches. Rose has damage. I think Rose can catch. I think Rose has a better chance of catching Lemos because she's a little bit more stationary. But if Jan is not moving that head, Rose can put combinations together too. So Rose has ability to catch both of them because her footwork is it's tricky. It is tricky. Like I'd say Rose again is probably one of the best fighters in one of the best strikers in the strawweight division still. So I think she has the ability to catch both. Maybe not knock them out, but you know, put some damage on them. I think she can put some damage on them. Yeah, Robot Chicken said hit that button like Jan hit Andrade. That's right. Hit that like button like Jan hit Andrade. Yeah, I'm about to get up off of here in a minute, y'all. Though. Sink said Whaley's punching power is cumulative. Yeah, that's why I rated under Andrade because Andrade's punching power is a bit more devastating, but it still can knock other girls out like Andrade. Like Jessica, I don't think could take her own punching power. You know what I mean? Like Whaley does have like a cumulative punching power. Gabby said Joanna mentioned Rose was the strongest fighter she fought. I believe it. I believe I believe that, yeah, for sure. I believe that, yeah. I can agree with her on that because I was thinking the same thing. Like when I went back, Gabby, and watched her title defenses, Joanna was running through these girls. That's why it makes people question like how good was her title reign. But I give her credit for her title reign. But the minute she stepped it up against Rose, I picked Rose to beat Joanna. Matter of fact, because I said this girl is a little bit stronger and little bit more talented than Jessica Panay, and she's got the style versus Carla Esparza. Those fighters, they didn't have a chance against Joanna, but Rose was just much more well-rounded and different, especially at that time. I thought she was just on a warpath and just getting better as a fighter. So yeah, that gave me one reason to pick Rose in that fight because yeah, I can believe she being the strongest fighter. That's why she can never beat her, right? That's why she lost 2 times to her. Anybody on that level, Joanna could not beat. Valentina, Wei and Rose. Those fighters were just too strong and too talented. She just couldn't do it. Who has the best chance of defeating Wei Li, Jan or Lemos? I think Lemos does. Honestly. I think Lemos honestly has the best chance to beat her because I think she has a ground game that's gonna be necessary against Wei Li if she gets to the ground. I know Jan's ground game is getting better, but I don't think she's caught up with Wei Li in that aspect. See, I still know Lemos still has a jiu-jitsu background. She still got that, and she's still got the power. Like if Lemos cannot telegraph her power in every single punch, and she comes with a better game plan of throwing a couple of pity pat shots and sets up the power and doesn't throw power in every single punch, then yeah, she has a better chance. Like her boxing has to be on point. I think she definitely has like the necessary tools on the feet to get her respect, to get Wei Li's respect early. I think she can get up faster from a takedown from Wei Li too than Jan. Actually, once they get on that, when she gets clamped on him, I think Lemos can get up faster than Jan can. Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, Lemos has the better chance. I think, because I was following her from a minute. People were laughing at me when I said, well, Lemos is gonna be at this point. I was like one of the only ones saying Lemos is gonna be up here catching up, and she'll get a title shot too. See, everybody thought she was done or overhyped when she lost to Angela Hill, or almost lost to Angela Hill. But I said, nah, man, that's just a bad style matchup. Watch this. I was like, she'll still get there. She'll get there. I told a lot of people that. I like messing with BJ because he laughed at me when I said that. BJ always said, Lemos ain't, you crazy. He's like, Lemos can't beat Angela Hill. She ain't going to get a title shot. She ain't going to be top 5. I said, watch. That was just a bad style matchup. Sink said, "Do you think she improved on her technique based on her last fight or no?" You talking about Lemos? Do I think so? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping she has. I hope she has. Let me just put it that way. Like, that's all I can say. Like, do I think so? If she's smart, she would, and I hope so. Like, I don't want to see Lemos throwing power on every single punch. You know, that's my thing. There go BJ. You know how? Oh, here you go. Here you go. Look, he's saying he said Angela Hill put her down with that elbow. Oh man. Oh, he ain't gonna stop with that. Gabby said Whaley has been improving as well. I'm excited either fight. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we ain't got to question Whaley's improvements. Whaley's getting better as a fighter. Like, she had some setbacks against Rose, and I think that made her better. But yeah, I think that we don't even have to ask that question about Whaley. I think Whaley's getting better as a fighter. Her third title fight could have been Rose and Whaley. Yeah, I mean, something like, yeah, like, if they're already talking about Yan by the end of the year, I want a summer fight right now. Like, I either like to see Whaley or Valentina fight in the summertime. You know what I mean? Like, it's like back in the day whenever Will Smith would do those movies, do like a summer movie every year. I want to see Whaley and Valentina booked to fight in June or July. You know, I need that in the summertime. I had fun on that last card that they were on. You know, Santos and Valentina, Whaley and Joanna. That was a bomb card. That was a bomb night, man. I need that type of summer, man. Like, Whaley got to be fighting in June or July. Valentina, throw her in there somewhere, you know, this rematch with Grasso. But on that note, y'all, shout out to everybody in chat. I got to get up out of here. And yeah, I think Yan at the end of the year is a good idea, but until then, it's got to be Lemos in the summertime. It's got to be. It's got to be July or August. There's two fights I want. I'm gonna do a video. There's two fights I want this summer. I want Whaley and Lemos, and I want Manon and Aaron Blanchfield. All right, those are two fights I want. On that note, hit that like, subscribe, Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.